Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today I've tested the cleaners range debuff to see whether or not it actually affects weapons in this game, because honestly I couldn't feel a difference with or without the cleaners. And after I did some testing, I was quite surprised at the results. I didn't see any effect on most of the weapons in this game, however there were one or two that did actually have a drastic effect when you use the cleaners compared to any other class, so let's get into it. So I first tested the base damage of each weapon when you use it with cleaners compared to any other class, and then I also tested every gun with the lightweight barrel. So I'm first going to be going over the base damage values for each category in the game. When I tested every weapon in the AR category, there was no difference whatsoever whether you use the cleaners or any other class. So what that means is you're better off using cleaners of any AR because you actually won't get any disadvantage from it. You're actually getting more damage out of it. And that applies to LMGs, marksman rifles, and sniper rifles. So if you use any of these categories on their base variants, you'll actually get a damage increase because you won't be seeing any debuff in your range. However, when I tested the SMGs, every SMG was fine except the MP5. So on the 15 meter target, when I tested it with Phantoms, you're actually getting 18 damage on the 15 meter target. However, once I switched over to the cleaners, I was now getting 10 damage on the 15 meter target, which is quite a big change. And over on the shotguns, the only shotgun here that actually got affected by it was the double barrel. Once again, on the 15 meter target, when you use Phantoms, you'll see that I was getting 80 damage for one shot. However, once I switched over to cleaners, I was now getting 43. Once again, a very big jump. It's very weird that only these two weapons got affected by it, so it's probably a bug, but whatever. So what does this mean? If you use the MP5 and the DB with their base variants without any range extender attachments, you're actually going to be at a disadvantage when you use the cleaners with them. So instead, use any other faction except the cleaners when you use these two weapons. And there was no effect on the pistols whatsoever. Okay, now from what I've tested using the lightweight barrel on each weapon. In the AR category, everything was fine except for the AK with the lightweight barrel. On a 25 meter target, I was getting 2 less damage when I used the cleaners over the Phantoms. Over on the SMGs, the P90 and the MP7 with the lightweight barrel also have a big difference in their damage. For the P90, when I used the Phantoms, I was getting 18 damage for each bullet on the 15 meter target compared to 13 damage when you use the cleaners. Biggest one here is probably the MP7 because I was getting 11 damage on the 15 meter target using the cleaners. However, once I switched back to Phantoms, I was now getting 19. So what does this mean? Well, you can still use any of these weapons as long as you don't pair it with the cleaners. However, other than that, the cleaners actually give you a big advantage. Most guns actually benefit a lot from this because you're actually getting 8 extra damage from this. Even though it's only 8 ticking damage, it is still 8 damage regardless. Now, in my experience, these guns were the base with cleaners. Every assault rifle worked really well with the cleaners. For the shotguns, both the AA12 and the M8 did really well with the cleaners. Every LMG did well. The SVD, especially in the marksman section, did extremely well because I always got them down to like 1 HP, except when I switched over to cleaners, I was now getting a consistent one-shot kill at most ranges. Every sniper and every pistol also benefited from this. So that said, if you're ever unsure whether or not you should use a certain gun with the cleaners, come back to this video and rewatch it. For the most part, you can really use any weapon with cleaners as long as it has like the barrel extender on it or chrome lined or whatever. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.